Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to cover the latest and most recent updates to TrueConf server and TrueConf client applications. Please stay tuned. We have a lot of things to share with you. It will be a very packed and very insightful webinar. So let me start with the TrueConf server updates. The TrueConf server is the leading on-premises, self-hosted, edge computing collaboration platform, which you can easily install on your server. It could be a virtual server, it could be a dedicated server, it could be Docker container. The solution is suitable for Windows operating system and all different variations of Linux distros, featuring support for Ubuntu, Debian, CentOS, and many others. So TrueConf server is not just about video conferencing, as you might know, but it is also a core communication platform for messaging, because it has a very nice support for group chats and channels, chatbot application, and many other solutions which help you to be productive, which help you to conduct collaboration and stay connected with your team no matter where you are. And we continue to invest heavily into the features and the new updates for both products. And let's start with the core part, the server part, and after that we will move forward to the client applications. So first of all, we'd like to bring your attention that we totally redesigned the real-time management console, which is available during the conferences. This part is actually rendered from the server. It is displayed in the client application. It is also available in TrueConf Room solution. However, it is still a web page which is delivered from TrueConf server. That's why we placed this slide into TrueConf server section. So the idea is that we significantly simplified the access to the most frequently used features like the recordings, transcriptions, and some others you can see on the slide. So now you can basically enable and disable server-side recording and transcription in 2 clicks. First click, you need to click on the right bottom of the client application to access the real-time meeting management window, and after that you need to click on the action you'd like to perform. You can also have a quick access to the layouts and participant management. So basically, you can move this window to a second screen or third screen. You can make it visible on your operator screen and not visible on the main screen where you have a conference being displayed. So it is very useful for endpoint management and conference management for important meetings where you have one screen with layout visible for everybody. And this small window, which can be used for meeting management, are displayed on the second window or your laptop screen. So that's a major improvement for usability for operators and people who manage meetings. Next part is also useful for conference management for large webinars. It is now possible to disable audio remarks. As you might know, we have a special type of meeting which is called Smart Meeting. And Smart Meeting is a way we can create layout automatically based on the user activity. If someone starts to talk, if we register the voice activity, we place that user in the layout automatically. If someone will start to share the content, the same, it will be, or he or she will be placed in the layout automatically. And also, it is possible to broadcast your audio, broadcast some audio message from you during Smart Meeting, even not being displayed in the layout. For that, we have a special mechanism which is called remarks, audio remarks. And that could be quite disturbing when you host a large webinar with many people and someone, even if that person is not visible in the layout, if it is not presented, if he or she is not presented on the podium, some participants still, especially guests, can send audio remarks which are hearable and could be disturbing for everybody else. So we allow you to disable audio remarks in advance when you plan the meeting during the scheduling process, or you can do the same in real time during the meeting using this real-time management console we showed you before. So very nice addition. I'd like to remind you that it is also possible to mute everyone but the speaker using the same interface. It is also possible to lock access to the meeting if you believe everybody is here. It is also possible to stop the content sharing from a specific person if he or she forgot to stop the content sharing after the speech. So it is quite useful. We have a lot of things to manage the conference in real time. So this is just one of them. Another big improvement is the way how we provide access to the recordings from the server-side recordings. So you know that it is possible to record the session, the conference point-to-point call on the client side. However, sometimes you need to record the conference on the server side. If you are the host, if you are the moderator of the conference, you are able to do so. And the only way before to access the recording which happened on the server is to create the conference in advance, to successfully finish the scheduling process, and only for scheduled conferences before you could access the recordings. However, quite often we create conferences on the go, so-called ad hoc conferences. And for ad hoc conferences, the only way to access the recording which you enabled using, for example, the real-time meeting management console we showed you before, is to ask your system administrator to share the link with you or to give you the file. That could be an issue. Because administrators are busy, and some companies usually have thousands of employees, and it is not wise to bother system administrator or IT professional for every server-side recording. So what we did, we placed a special new section in the personal area of the user, which is available right from the client application. You need to follow your profile, and there is a dedicated button to access your personal area. The personal area is a web page, which is rendered from TrueConf server website. I'm sorry, not website, but the web server located along with TrueConf server. So this personal area has a lot of things, the scheduling, chat, many other things, but now it is also possible to access your transcriptions and, most importantly, recordings for the conferences which were created on the go. So you create a point-to-point call, you escalate point-to-point call to the group conference by adding third or fourth or etc. users, and now you have a conference created on the go, and you decided something important is being discussed, so why not I'd like to enable the recording, and you enable the recording. And before, to access that recording, you need to ask your system administrator to give you the link. Now you have in your personal area the new section, which will show you all kinds of server-side recordings you initiated, you as the host or the moderator of the conference created. And this is extremely convenient, so no need to bother the IT people anymore. Let's move forward. Another nice improvement is that conference is created on the go. They don't left empty chats. So, because in TrueConf, this is very important. We do not see any differences, and it is actually absolutely the same, the group chat and group conference. So they share the same artifacts, the ID, the list of participants, because chat participants automatically become conference participants, and conference participants after the meeting become chat participants. So every conference is actually created along with the group chat, and every group chat could be converted to the conference any moment. You just need to click the call button. So before, if you had a conference which has corresponding chat, as you might know already, and nothing being sent to that chat, so no messages, no images, no files being sent to that chat during the conference, still the chat remain in your list of chats. Empty chat could actually use the precious space in the list of your chats, and it actually has no meaningful information inside, no messages, no files. So it is wasteless. It is useless wasting of their screen real estate. So we decided that after the ad hoc meetings, if nothing has been shared to the chat, it shouldn't be visible in the list of chats. So that happens automatically. You can actually control those settings in the client application, but by default we hide them. So now empty chats will never be displayed in the list of chats. However, if you go to the history of your calls, call history section in the application, you could access that chat. You can actually continue to speak with people from that conference using that chat, but if nobody been there during the conference, it will be hidden in the main list of chats. Another big improvement for system administrators is located in the console, in the control panel of TrueConf server. It is available starting from TrueConf server version 5.5.4, which is available already on our website. Don't forget to update. And this is something we were asked for by many system administrators. And basically, this is the list of endpoints. because every user can use its account on many different devices. It could be your personal device, it could be your desktop computer at office, it could be your home laptop, it could be your tablet when you're on the go, moving between floors and buildings in your inside your organization. So many different devices. According to our statistics, every active user usually have 1.6 devices. Because some people have a second account on the smartphone, some people don't, and this figure is growing. So very soon we expect that most of our users will have at least 2 devices, the smartphone and the work computer. Some of them, of course, have more. And sometimes users, your employees, they change their devices, or for example, they can lost their device for some reason, and you need a way to manage this. So this new panel shows you from which devices this particular user has been authenticated, at what time is the session is still active, and very importantly, you can sign out from that particular endpoint, or you can disable the automatic login. That means that the next time user will need to authenticate by entering the password. That's very cool. And this way we can significantly enhance the security for people who lost their smartphones or laptop, whatever. And we can also manage and control the list of available endpoints. For example, if for some user you see many different endpoints for a single user, that means maybe his password, maybe his credentials being stolen. Why not? Because why otherwise he has so many notifications, different sessions. So this is something you can pay attention to. That would be very useful for security monitoring tools. So now it is available in the product, so feel free to use it. Very nice, very cool security feature. Another feature hidden in the control panel is actually the list of fields which are displayed for your local users and fields which are displayed for your remote users through federation. Federation is the way how we can connect, speak, and make calls to people who are authenticated on another TrueConf server instances. It could be another server within your organization. It could be another server in some other third-party organization. So a rule of thumb is to hidden fields which are essential and very useful inside the organization for remote people. And this new control panel allows you to select which fields being imported from Active Directory or another LDAP catalog is being visible for federated users. So on that screenshot, we show for federated users only the ID, the name, the last name, and the company name. And that's more than enough. We don't need to show the local phone number, personal phone number, some additional information about the department, building, whatever you have inside your Active Directory for that user to be visible by remote users. So this is also a very nice addition for the list of very long list of security features of TrueConf server. So I think you will love this one. So move forward. Another security addition is about the types of files being shared during meetings and conferences. So now it is possible on the server side to enter the blacklist or whitelist of prohibited or only allowed file types, file extensions. Every moment the user will try to send the file which is not whitelisted or is blacklisted, the special message you can see on the bottom of the screenshot will be displayed in the chat for that user. So it is quite convenient. By default, we populate the blacklist with the extensions for popular executable files, binary files, which is usually prohibited to send using any communication tools, which could be quite dangerous if your user will start to exchange scripts and executable files, which could be you need to verify them some way. So it is a good idea not to distribute them using messaging. So we can prohibit such files for distribution. And we can also limit the size of the files. For example, it is also quite useful. We have a lot of very smart technologies how to optimize the distribution of files between your users. Actually, very often your server is not even used for large file distributions and files being distributed between users within the single LAN, within the single virtual LAN. Usually it is a single building or single office location, so we do not use a lot of server bandwidth for that, because once the file is being downloaded, part of the file has been successfully downloaded to one user in this local network, this part is automatically being distributed to other users. So this is a very smart CDN, kind of CDN optimization approach, which helps us to significantly lower the bandwidth usage on the server. However, if this is not enough for you, you can still set the limit for the files, which is also a nice new feature. And we don't recommend to do so, because sometimes people need to send large files. And actually, the beneficial idea behind the messenger is that we don't have any file limits, because email, public messengers, they have very strict limits. Large files are either not allowed or are being delivered not very reliably. So you downloaded half of the file and another gigabyte is being stuck. So with TrueConf, we can deliver large files with 100% guarantee that it will be delivered to every participant, thousands of participants of that chat or channel. And this is very convenient to send large files using TrueConf. So our recommendation is keep it at least 1 gigabyte. So on the screenshot is 250 megabytes, but I don't think it is large enough. So you can safely enlarge this to 1 gigabyte. And another security, not connected to security, but connected to business processes feature is about the time frame during which the author of the message can actually edit it. We recommend you to set it to 48 hours. That's more than enough. Otherwise, people could change their mind, could change their messages, could change their decisions, could change their obligations after 1 week, 1 month, which could create some friction. And we received a lot of requests to implement this feature, so we did it. So now you can set the cutout time. So after this amount of hours, no editing would be allowed for the author of the message. We continue to improve the support for conferences being delivered through browsers. Many guests are connected using the WebRTC application, and we also know that many organizations, they have their own turn and stand servers, because when you use browser connections, this is a very important part. The Chrome, the Firefox, other browsers, they tend to use publicly available infrastructure for turn servers and stand servers. That is not really secure, because the information about your internal IP addresses, some statistical information about the streams, the audio and video streams being delivered through those servers, some signaling information being delivered through those servers is not good. So it is possible to use your own turn server infrastructure to make sure that the endpoints and your users will use your internal or corporate turn servers for communication. This is something not used by TrueConf applications, because we do not hole punching and NIT traversal by the core nature of our protocol for almost 15 years. It's just a part of our protocol. So it is not required for TrueConf application. It just works out of the box with TrueConf application. But when you use the WebRTC, for example, when you connect to the meetings using the browser, this could be very useful. So this is another very essential security feature we have introduced in the latest version of TrueConf Server 5.5.4. So let's move forward to client application updates. Speaking about client applications, I'd like to remind you that we previously introduced the support for service, and now those services are very nicely displayed inside the chat. So actually, the server is being displayed as a pop-up message, which guides you through all the questions. You can review your questions and submit your reply. And which is really cool is that we have a special snippet, special kind of widget inside chat for service, so you can actually share them. So you can send the survey from one user to another, or you can prepare the survey inside your favorites message box. And after that, you can share that survey message to the big channel with your employees. And you can create different surveys based on the same set of questions for different channels. So you can collect different set of data, different set of replies to the same questions from different audiences. This is very cool. And now those surveys are displayed nicely inside the application. It is not part of the message because survey is not a poll. Poll are very small, but survey is bigger. Survey usually has a lot of questions. So very useful feature for HR departments and educational institutions. Also for telemedicine is also quite useful because doctors usually send surveys to their patients to control what's going on with them. And this is very cool because surveys are being accessed by API, so we can automate integration with surveys. We added support for chat notifications disabling. That means you can mute notifications for a specific set of time. For some people, it could be useful. For example, you are very busy and you'd like to move yourself into so-called focus mode. So you can disable all notifications, no new messages, no calls, nothing, for a specific amount of time. So you could be very focused on what you're doing. Also now available. We continue to improve the messaging part, the UI for the messaging. So you can see from that slide, so we added group actions to the so-called galleries of media files. So basically what we do, when you send a lot of videos and images, we can stack them together in a nice way to better use the screen state. So for example, when you add an image, the first one is usually displayed in a bigger size, and all consequently added images are displayed in a smaller size, and you can cycle through them through the built-in gallery view. But the idea is that the message is very combined, and every gallery has the description, and we can forward the gallery, we can reply to the gallery, we can save it to the favorites, whatever. And we also continue to improve the regular files sharing. For example, now you can see the previews for PDF files. So the first page of PDF document is previewed in the snippet, and we will add support for previews for different Office files later. So we're working on that. So the next feature is quick access to the real-time conference management. This is something we start this webinar with. So this is the window for real-time management you saw before. So now the access to this window, to this real-time conference management window, is moved from the three dots hidden menu to the dedicated manage button. So in the bottom right corner of TrueConf application, if you are the host, if you are the moderator of the conference, you will see the new button, which is called manage, with sliders. So it's very easy to understand. You can manage the conference using this button, and you just need to click it to access the real-time conference management window. Quite simple. So the new, let's call it the shortcut to access the real-time meeting management. Starting from the last version of client application, we added the display of the custom status. So custom status is something very useful when you are on vacations, if you have a day off, if you are traveling, you are on a business trip. So this is the way to tell your colleagues that you are available only for specific hours, or not available because of some reason. You can use emoji there, and that status is visible everywhere, in your profile, in every chat, group chat, channel, personal chat. It is also visible in mobile applications. So we added display of additional status almost everywhere, so making sure that your colleagues will see your special status and pay attention to it. Let's move forward to the last part of this webinar, is the recent updates to TrueConf mobile applications. So as you already understand, we have a lot of things going on, and we have a large team developing the new features every working day. So a lot of things. From one side, I'm very happy that we can deliver to you so many wonderful updates, but from another hand, that takes time to cover all the things we did in the recent releases. So Please be patient. All the features are very important, and all the features are being delivered according to your requests. So we carefully write down all product requests, all your ideas, all your tickets information, carefully selecting the product features we need to introduce into the product. So let's move forward to the mobile updates. We continue to improve the calendar integration, and we totally redesigned the conference window, conference panel inside mobile application. So now you can access to ad hoc meetings, you can connect to any conference using the link, and most importantly, all events from your calendar is being displayed using those nice widgets you can see on the slide. It's already available. And if you have TrueConf calendar connector in your setup, in your installation, that could be your Outlook events. All kind of Outlook events you have in your Outlook calendar, not just conferences created inside TrueConf. It could be whatever you have in your Outlook. So this is very convenient to access from your mobile device to your calendar, all kinds of your calendar events. So you can browse through the different dates. You can see join to links, click to join links for conferences which are scheduled for TrueConf. And this is very cool. So this screen is becoming the core part of what we're going to name the smart apps. So more business application will be available using this screen, using this section of mobile application. But most importantly, by default, we will populate this window with your Outlook events, your calendar events. So you can see that on the slide already. We added support for high quality images. So when you share the image, we can send it without compression as is. We call this HQ, but it is actually original quality. To access that, when you share file, image file, not video, image file, you have to tap and hold the send button for a few seconds. And after that, you need to click on a send without compression button, which will pop up from that send image button. Not very straightforward, but it is available. So for example, if someone asking you, hey, can you send me the better quality original image? Just attach this image from your gallery and select the image from the gallery. And you can select actually multiple images, could be hundreds of images, 50 images, 20 images. And you don't need to select those images from your gallery and attach them as files, which is not very useful. You have to do that one by one. But with the built-in send without compression inside the image attach dialog in application, you can send multiple image files at once without compression. So select multiple images, not files, hold the send button and send them without compression. Very nice. We also added the setting in mobile applications for different strategies for content sharing. For some scenarios, it is quite useful when you share your screen to change the default way how we're handling the content. By default, when we do content sharing, we prioritize the resolution. So that means that resolution is more important than frame rate. That means the tables are crispier, the scammers and CID diagrams, they have more details, but the frame rate could be low. You won't notice the difference if you have a nice bandwidth. But from mobile device, we are usually connected using mobile carrier network, which is not so quick as the local office Wi-Fi. So you have to select the strategy, whether you want your content to be displayed with the highest possible resolution and the frame rate will vary, or you'd like to maintain the highest possible frame rate, and resolution could go lower to lower levels of our SVC protocol approach. So that's up to you. So if you share videos, frame rate priority is up to you. If you share documents, resolution priority, the default one, is already there. Another big improvement is how we connect users which are new for us. For example, you are a new customer of TrueConf, or you are using the free version of TrueConf server, which has support for 1,000 users for messaging, by the way. And you just added support for Active Directory, which is also available in the free version, by the way. So you added support for Active Directory, and you need to ask your users to connect to your local server. That could be complicated because when the users start the application, they need to enter your corporate TrueConf server address, which is always different from your corporate domain address. For example, TrueConf server is usually installed on the domain like conference or trueconf.company.com, but your email addresses are usually company.com. So what we did in mobile application, so there is one single process how to authenticate corporate users. They only need to enter their corporate email address. Every corporate user has an email address. That's like a default everywhere, globally. Every employee has email. And once the employer, this is the only thing we ask for when we enroll the new user. Enter your email address. That's it. So once the user enter the email address, the client application will go to special TXT field inside your DNS server. So we extract the special TXT field from your DNS server. And that field is actually tells us where the TrueConf server installation is located. So we can automatically resolve the email address into two things. The first one is the corporate domain name login. And the second part, we can find using the domain name the address of TrueConf server using the TXT entrance from your DNS server. Please reference to our documentation how to properly set up this. This is like a 1-minute setup for your IT guy. Very easy to do, but after that, every your employee will be able to automatically sign up with TrueConf using single sign-on using his domain authentication login and password without any friction, and he don't need to know the TrueConf server address. Some companies, they have 10, 20, 30 TrueConf servers based on the different locations and branches. So this is very useful. So we automatically resolve the email to the TrueConf server address or nearest TrueConf server address. There are different strategies available for administrators. Very convenient. We redesigned the current call panel for iOS. So now you won't miss the ongoing conferences. Very often during the mobile conferences, we move back to the chat because chat is the core of your communications. Every moment your colleagues send you messages, files, documents, memes, whatever. And some meetings could be boring. So many people go back, during the conference, they go back to chat, which is more interesting for them. And they forgot about that they have been heard, that they are still in conference. And we created this new top panel, which shows you that actually you are still in the call or conference. And actually you can mute your microphone. You can see your status of your microphone. Is it muted or not? Or you can stop this conference, not just stop, but leave this conference by clicking on hang up button. Very convenient for large, long, boring, ongoing conferences when you focus on your chat panel instead of the conference. And we also you might notice that we totally redesigned the iOS interface. So now on iPad, it is possible to see client application always in full screen. No self-view being displayed in the address book. So we totally redesigned the old approach we used before. So right now, when you open iOS application, the full size will be used of all the time. And inside that full size window, the chat will be displayed by default. On the left, you will see the list of your chats and folders, chat folders. On the right, you will see the content of selected chat. Very convenient. So you can easily use the full screen state of your iOS to manage many chat sessions you could have and chat folders you could have. Big update for us. We also updated the Android special version of our Android application for TVs. Very few people know that actually you can switch between TV interface and regular Android interface in the settings of TrueConf application. So if you connect Android device to your TV, it could be tablet, it could be built-in Android platform inside your TV, it could be a net-top device set on the TV like NVIDIA Shield and Xiaomi. So the idea is that we have a special interface for Android application, which looks like you can see on this screenshot. Very nice UI with your Outlook events and everything. And the idea is that Android TV interface is only controlled using the joystick on your remote from your TV. Usually your TV has like 5 most important buttons: up, down, left, right, and central OK button, confirm or OK button. So the whole interface of Android TV is being controlled by only those 5 buttons. So we can navigate the focus using arrow keys, and we click OK to select something. So the capabilities are the same. We can use any USB camera connected to TV or laptop. We can use microphones, different ones. We can share the content if you have a built-in capture card. We can call SIP equipment. We can receive calls. So basically, your Android endpoint can be converted to TV room solution any moment. Very, very, very nice application. And for many, many years, TrueConf is the only available video conferencing application for Android TV platform. We are the pioneers of using Android TV platform for video conferencing and collaboration, and we continue to improve this experience. We continue to improve this application because we believe that very soon the room equipment process will be not hardware-based, but software. You will only need to download the right application from your marketplace, and that's it. Because everything else, the microphone array, the speakers, the camera, will be built into the TV you buy anywhere to your room, and you only need to install the TrueConf application to enable that room with collaboration capabilities. So that's our goal, and that's why we continue to invest heavily into Android TV platform. And we are almost done. A few slides left. So some previews of the new UI for Android TV. Of course, you can accept invitations to calls and group conferences. Of course, you can manage the conference participants. You can send chat messages. You can read chat messages. And all the features you have in Android application is available for Android TV as well. So what next? There are some previews of the forthcoming features we are working on right now. So very soon, the audio messages will appear in iOS application. It is already available for Android. The iOS is coming very soon. Audio messages is quite important because many younger generation users, and actually what we find out, which is quite surprising, is that older generation people, senior employees, they also prefer to use audio messages. So for different reasons. For younger generation, it is more convenient to use Messenger instead of audio calls. They don't want to talk in real time. They love to record audio messages because it is convenient for them. They grew up this way, and we added support for them. But for senior people, it is quite difficult to write down the longer messages. They love to write emails. They know how to do emails. But for corporate messenger with a lot of shorter messages, a lot of communications, it is more convenient for them not to use the small keyboard on the smartphone. It is more convenient to them to record audio messages. So we going forward to make it easier to use our corporate messaging platform for all kind of employees, for every user. And that's why we introduced the audio messages. Audio messages could be played back on any TrueConf application, so you don't need to worry that it wouldn't be available somewhere. So we already rolled out support for desktop application and for Android. iOS is coming. This is very cool. And transcriptions, by end of the year, will automatically display the transcription for the messages. So no need to play back every audio message. You can read what is inside. We're working on that too. And the last slide. Many users and customers asked us to support reactions. Very obvious feature, but we had some limits, some limitation in our protocol we need to overcome. We need to move to the new generation of our messaging protocol, so we did it. So the new generation, the new version of our messaging protocol will support all kinds of additional, let's call this, meta information about messages, including the support for reactions And later we will also introduce the nested messages, because it is the same meta information, like discussions for specific message. We can do that. It is not difficult to do with the new version of our protocol. We will also add support for Markdown, more complicated styles and formatting of the messages. So we continue to improve our messaging platform, but the most frequently asked feature for reactions is also coming. It will be available very soon. And also, I'd like to highlight, this summer we will also introduce the search through entire history of every chat. So very convenient, so no need to search for specific message in available messages which are cached on your device. You will be able to search through the entire history of specific chat or personal chat through the database on your server, which will significantly improve the usability as well. But most of the people ask for reactions, so they are coming. That's it. It was a very packed bunch of releases for TrueConf Server, TrueConf Desktop, and TrueConf Mobile applications. I tried to explain you all the latest features. I hope you enjoy this webinar. I hope you will love the new features we have introduced to you. Thank you for your attention. Stay safe, stay tuned, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.